Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud on their beds. Let the high praise of God be on the mouths of the saints and a two-edged sword in their hands to execute vengeance on the demonic nations and punishments on those peoples, to bind their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute on them this written judgment. This honor hath all his saints. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Sing to him a new song. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
Barakah Yahawah, Barakah YAHAWASHI, Barakah Yahawah, Barakah YAHAWASHI, Barakah Yahawah, Barakah YAHAWASHI. Call Allah Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, recall Kadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, which are a great millstone. Peace and blessings to the sincere Akim, pushing his truth and sincerity, and diligently putting videos throughout the week to feed the sheep. And Shalom to the Akwafim, listen, learn sincerity. So I'm gonna start right here. This is 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 8. It says, finally, be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another, love as brethren, be pitiful and be courteous. So it says be all of one mind. So we're all supposed to do these things. And like I said, like I just said, and what are we all supposed to do? Love as brothers. Okay, and when you look at the relationship of brothers, when you look at the relationship of brothers, it's like two brothers can get into a fight, not including E because he's sick. Two brothers can get into a fight, and then they can leave a house, get into an altercation with somebody else, and they would team up to handle whatever situation they're going up against. And when you're in this truth, you're supposed to treat brothers like that same exact way. Be willing to forgive and get over things just like you would your so-called blood brother in the world. Because when you look at all these other heathen nations, they don't look at each other like enemies amongst themselves. They literally look at each other like brothers. I see Arabs, they love each other. I see Moabites, they love each other. Ishmaelites, Africans, they all got love for each other. But when it comes to our people, we treat each other like if they're not from our immediate mom or dad, they're just another potential enemy. But other nations don't look at it like that, because other nations are basically incorporating our laws in that sense. They're looking at people who are of their same nation as brothers. Okay, and I guarantee you, any amount of money, if you were to fight, if you were to attack, like for an example, two Jakes from Judah were to attack one Asian person, a Moabite, I bet any amount of money, if there's like three other Moabites walking down a block, they would come get in it and help the other Moabite. Because other nations, they don't look at each other like just the way we look at each other. They look at each other like brothers at the end of the day. And we're supposed to be of that same exact way. And this right here, this is Peter talking about being brotherly, being courteous. Basically, what this going into is empathy, because being courteous is you're thinking about somebody else the way you would think about yourself. It says pitiful and compassion, which is two more words that basically mean the same thing. Thinking about somebody else the same way you would want something for yourself. And this is Peter. Now, Peter was he was like the right hand man of YAHAWASHI. Now you look at I'm gonna go over here. This is Paul, and he taught the same exact thing. This is Romans 11, so like 12 and 15. It says rejoice. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at 14. It says, bless them which persecute you. Bless and curse not. So you have Paul saying the people who come up against you, obviously talking about Jakes, instead of putting up curses on them, pray for these people, right? And matter of fact, let's get into why. I mean, despite the fact that YAHAWASHI, he basically said the same exact thing. Watch this. This is James chapter 5 and 16. It says, confess your faults one to another and pray one for another that ye may be healed. The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. So obviously, if you got a brother and he's coming up against you, or he's coming up against the truth, it would obviously make more sense for you to pray for this person instead of putting curses on this person, right? Because at the end of the day, you would rather see a person receive salvation than to be destroyed. And this goes back to what? Empathy. Feeling for this person and wanting for this person what you want for yourself. Okay? And Yahushua was always talking about matter of fact, that's the second greatest commandment. Treat your neighbor as yourself. So if you were to pick curses on a person instead of blessing them, which Yahushua told us we got to do, then that means Yahushua is looking at you like, okay, since you putting curses on this person who you would think are lost, because that's why you would come up against another person, you would think they're lost. So you're putting up a curses against a person who's lost. That means you don't want any prayers. You don't want any blessings. You don't want to receive salvation because you're not giving that back. But it just said the prayers of the righteous availeth much. So it's Yahweh Shem Yahshua, he's going to hear it. Scripture say the prayers of the righteous is going to pierce the clouds. So if you believe in these scripts that somebody come up against you, you're supposed to pray for that person. That's what Yahweh said. That's what Peter says. That's what Paul says. They all teaching the same exact thing. Let me get this real quick. And praying for brothers is a good thing, and that's how you get increased. Actually, watch this. Well, is a way. It's one of the ways. This is Job 42. And 10. It says, and Yahweh turned the captivity of Job when he prayed for his friends. Also, Yahweh gave Job twice as much as he had before. So it says, after Job prayed for his friends, Yahweh, he gave him back his servants. Because when you read the first chapter, it tells you that Job lost all his servants and his children. So when Job prayed for his friends, Yahweh Shem Yahshua, he gave him back his servants. And not only what he had, he doubled it. And Job at the time was already one of the richest men. Was one of the richest men in his part of the planet. Okay, he was already one of the richest men. But like I just said, Yahweh Shem Yahshua, he told us. Matter of fact, let me get it real quick. This is Matthew 5 and 7. It says, blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. So the merciful are going to obtain mercy. And Job had mercy and prayed for his friends. And what did he do? He got mercy back. He got his servants back. And not only that, but double. Okay. So going back over here, this is Romans 12. And Romans chapter 12 and verse 14, it says, bless them which persecute you, bless and curse not. Rejoice with them that do rejoice, and weep with them that do weep. And what is that? It says rejoice with the ones that rejoice and weep with the ones that weep. What is that talking about? Again, compassion for the people who's laughing and having fun among the brethren. You're not going to, like a brother called you up, tell you had a good day. You're not going to tell him you had a bad day, try to bring his spirits down like a jerk. you going to at least be there for them. Like, damn, man, that's good for you. YAHAWASHI Yashar Brakatah. That's great. This, that, and the third. And it says, weep with them that weep. So if a brother call you up and he's in a bad mood, you're not going to be like, bro, I get that, but look, my day was amazing. You're not going to be a jerk like that. Okay? Because YAHAWASHI, he, in fact, yeah, YAHAWASHI, he had empathy for his mom, okay, and his brothers. That's why he wept when he seen them. He didn't weep because YAHAWASHI obviously understood that when people die, they go to the grave. I mean, their body goes to the ground, and their spirit goes back up to Yahweh and they're in peace. YAHAWASHI obviously understood that. Okay, so he wasn't crying because he was hurt by the death. He was crying because he had compassion and empathy for Mary. Okay, this is why he was crying, because he had empathy. And that's one of the traits of the elect, to have empathy. You got to be able to feel what another person is feeling of your people. It says, here it is again, Romans 12 and 16. It says, be of the same mind one towards another. There it is again. The same. So you got right here, Paul saying the same exact thing. Be of the same mind one towards another. It says, but condescend to men of low estate. Be not wise in your own conceits. Recompense to no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of all men. So this is another big thing. Recompense no man evil for evil. So we're not supposed to be doing that. Okay? YAHAWASHI, he didn't tell us to battle evil for evil. Back over here, because read again, is 1 Peter 3 and 9. It says, not rendering evil for evil. There it is again. So you had Paul say the same exact thing Peter is saying once again. So Paul and Peter and YAHAWASHI, they're all on the same page. Matter of fact, I'm going to get the, because Peter, I got the example where, so you got Romans the 12th chapter where Paul said, don't render evil for evil. And now you got Peter the 3rd chapter where Peter says, don't render evil for evil. And now let's get YAHAWASHI saying it. This is Matthew's chapter 5 and 39. But I say unto you that ye resist not evil, but whosoever shall smite thee on thy right cheek, turn to him the other also. Now, when you go into the word that ye resist not evil, that's going into don't reward evil with evil. Okay, but instead turn your cheek. Okay, in other words, you're not going to recompense evil for evil. So you got YAHAWASHI saying it, you got Paul saying it, and you got Peter saying it. Okay, three of the highest men in the so-called New Testament. Okay, all speaking the same thing, all saying have empathy, all saying render not evil for evil. Okay, back over here, 1 Peter 3 and 9, it says not rendering evil for evil or railing for railing. Now you go into where railing, it basically means like slander. So since somebody slander you, you're not going to slander them back. It says, but contrary-wise, blessings. So when people, like again, YAHAWASHI said, well, Paul, Peter, and YAHAWASHI all saying the same thing right now. It says, when people say evil things against you, don't do it back. Just give them blessings. Bless those people. Okay? Pray for those people that they come out of that spirit. It says, obviously we're talking about our people, not heathen. It says, knowing that ye are there, that ye are there unto call, that you should inherit a blessing, right? Because we're going to, you get, just like Job, like I just read, Job 42, where Job had mercy and pity upon his friends, so he prayed for him. And then what happened? YAHAWASHI increased him, gave him his servants back and some. Okay? So these are the blessings that you get when you follow YAHAWASHI, when you be brotherly, when you have charity and mercy and forgiveness and empathy. You need all these things. Okay? And you got to give them back. Even in times when you don't, when you look at a situation and you don't really think you should or you want to. It says, for he that will love life and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil and his lips that they speak no guile. So the ones that love life are going to see good days. Okay, how do you love life? Right? You love life by praying for other brothers, which is going to lead to what? That increase. Matter of fact, let's go over here. This is John 15 and 14. It says, ye are my friends if ye do whatsoever I command you. And this is why Peter and Paul are saying and doing the same exact things YAHAWASHI said. Because they're his friends. And they understand if you're his friends, you want to do what he says. Okay? Moreover, let's go over here. This is Luke 6:46. And why call ye me Lord, Lord, and do not the things which I say? So you're not of YAHAWASHI if you're not doing what he says. If you're not praying for the people who are coming up against you. If you're not showing love and mercy and compassion for people, for the brothers, for our people, you're not doing what YAHAWASHI would do. Okay. This is Romans chapter 12 and 21. It says, be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good. So here it is again. Paul saying, don't be overcome with evil. Don't get in your feelings and think, all right, I'm going to pay this guy back evil because he did evil to me. They said, no, don't do that. But instead, overcome evil with good. How do you do that? Pray. Okay, compassion, mercy, forgiveness, empathy. Okay, these are the things in which we were instructed to do by YAHAWASHI. Let's go over here. Matter of fact, I'm going to end it right there. And I'm going to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakal, Kadash, Adawan, Ratazah, Thumb, Tamayim, Akin Wa, Akwaf, and Yakal. Shalom.